This is firefighter Raphael Porriette for Firehouse Subs. Introducing new Firehouse Pairs. Pair your favorite small sub with a signature side, like the awesome 5-cheese mac and cheese. And remember, a portion of every purchase at Firehouse Subs goes towards helping first responders. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs, save more lives. Participating locations only. Firehouse Subs will donate a minimum of $1 million in 2019 to the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation by donating 0.11% of every purchase.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy Kev. And just a quick disclaimer here before we start. We are a comedy podcast, and we do cover many crimes and serious events. But at the same time, we will be cracking jokes and trying to make each other laugh. So if you're easily offended, this is just your warning and heads up right now. And also, I just want to give a special shout out to everybody that helped raise the awareness for the Stop Coney campaign. That really did us all a lot of good, and I'm feeling really well about all that. So let's enjoy the show. Be good, stay safe, and laugh at the dark stuff. Hashtag Wildman.
All right, fellas, like we practiced.
Yeah. 2, 3, 4.
Come on down, come on down, hanging with the brothers tonight, yeah. Come on down to the brothers Commonplace tonight.
Alrighty, welcome everyone to the Brothers Commonplace, a comedy and crime podcast where we cover monsters, murders, mysteries, and more. And before we even tell you what the topic is, it's demonic possession and Anneliese Michel. But before that, I want you to meet the brothers that are with me today.
What's going on, guys? This is Tim. I'm specifically talking to the ladies right now because recently single and looking, and I was thinking, if we have any female listeners that aren't my sister, if they want to get a hold of me, holla at your boy. My email is freddyprinceJr.baconcheeseburger@gmail.com.
Fuck, if you don't really have that email, get on it.
Yeah, so I do have to create that.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Spence, and I recently have started a new career as a therapist, dealing with people who have serious depression.
Oh, yeah.
And, oh, shit, sorry, I forgot I had a client coming right now. Hey, what's up, Sarah Jessica Parker? Why the long face?
Holy shit, dude.
And y'all know who it is. It's the dog, your boy. And I have been referred to as the Morgan Freeman of the podcast world. But after today, I kind of want to get rid of that title now. So.
Yeah. Morgan Freeman played God. He didn't do it.
Or maybe he did.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe God can't do whatever he wants. This is normally the spot where we talk about the honorary brother of the week.
Yeah.
We got some bad news. I'm very, very upset, very hurt, very disappointed. We got no honorary brother of the week.
What?
We got 2 1-star ratings
Holy shit.
this week, and we're a little down, we're a little out, we're a little bummed about it, but just like Eddie Winslow after he battled the dragons on Family Matters, we will rise again. And we might even all have sex with girls this time. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I know Eddie will.
Yeah, Eddie is, for sure. He's doing that right now.
So we want an honorary brother next week, so that means you got to leave us a 5-star review. We'll give you a shout-out, read your review, and let the world know that you are part of the T-Bro C canon.
Yeah.
Fodder.
Just real canon. We'll shoot you out of the cannon. Alrighty, Spence, you got a subreddit of the week, brother?
No. The subreddit of the week will rise again as well at some point.
Just like Eddie Winslow after he fought the dragons on Family Matters.
Such a good episode.
You mentioned dragons. Last night, Tim and I watched Bender's Game.
It was pretty cool.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah,
So
dude.
good.
It was pretty funny. I like
So
that.
good.
I hope all you brothers here brought your gemstones, your special herbs and crucifixes.
Fuck yeah.
And I fucking hope to God, not you, Morgan Freeman, that you all cleanse your auras. Because today, we're going to be talking about demonic possession. And I don't want any of those damn pig demons jumping into my body. So today's topic is indeed that of demonic possession and also Anneliese Michel. Now, demonic possession is not to be confused with my very own demonic possession, which is my burned CD containing no less than 13 of my very favorite Slipknot songs on it.
Holy shit, dude! You were able to find 13
Yeah,
Slipknot
dude.
songs.
It's the only thing that slowly stops the ache.
You didn't just put "Wait and Bleed" on there 13 times.
Well, maybe.
All right, I respect that.
It's easier than finding 13 Evanescence songs.
Holy shit, dude. So a disclaimer before we jump into this, we're going to start talking about some exorcism, some demons and things like that. And I don't want us to take a stand saying whether or not we believe in it or not. I just kind of want to give the case as it is for right now. Then we'll talk about it all at the end.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, something real ridiculous, we can say, okay, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of things that may or may not have happened, today I listened to a 10-minute clip of Coast to Coast where a man talked about a demonic possession that happened in his family. And he claimed also at the time that it happened, he was a power lifter that could bench over 500 pounds.
Nice.
And also, there's this 130-pound girl in the family that was possessed and was able to choke him with one arm. And it took all of his strength to get her off. And then it took like 8 other people to keep her down. So,
yeah.
We're not going to mention whether or not we think that happened or not.
We'll wait to the end on that one. All right.
So it sounds like Lou Ferrigno got beat up by like an 8-year-old girl here. Maybe it happened, though. We don't know.
Yeah.
Also, he was selling a book, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to know how that ends, buy the book.
Yeah. Is it just the Fenn's treasure book?
If you go to the spot where this demonic possession took place, you can actually find an autographed copy of his book.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And fucking nobody wanting to read it.
The thrill of the chokehold.
Nice.
But yeah, there's a lot of YouTube videos of real possessions that range from terrifying to some of the fucking funniest videos out there.
Yeah, I've seen a few.
The Halloween ornament.
So yeah, that's good.
Dude,
some
wait,
are fucking.
I've seen that one.
Some are scary, and some are just fucking hilarious. Like I love the ones where like they touch the person with the cross and they like make the reaction like they just nutted. Like they turn their head, they're like, oh.
Like the reaction you made when the Browns signed Manziel.
Oh, I'm still making it, baby. Canada, here we come, baby.
Yeah, have fun.
So alrighty, let's jump into this. Any comments before we
I learned everything I know about demonic possession from the documentary Demons at the Door.
Oh, fuck yeah. If you guys haven't seen Demons at the Door, watch it.
Oh, yeah, watch
it.
that
It only has music from ICP in it. It's fucking glorious.
I wouldn't have said that if you want anybody to watch it.
Oh, fuck you, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, besides Andrew, now everybody's going to, not watch it.
So what is demonic possession? Well, there are a lot of different definitions and breakdowns, also different types. However, the simplest definition is when an individual gets possessed or taken over by malevolent beings such as demons or devils. One thing, though, which is a heavy debate of the case we'll be talking about, is that make sure the person is actually possessed and not just suffering from a mental disorder of some kind, because they kind of go hand in hand with each other, and it's hard to tell which one is actually happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can tell, though. We can tell.
We
so
know.
If you ever need any type of exorcism, you get us.
Yeah,
absolutely. But there are a lot of bogus sightings out there.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, we don't care if you need an exorcist like super bad. We don't care unless you give us a 5-star review. We're fucking leaving that fucker in there.
Your child can
That's our
fucking
price.
die unless you give us a 5-star review.
Fucking staying in Linda Blair until they give us a 5-star review, man.
You have to pay the gold star price.
Pay it, you son of a bitch. You know what I was thinking of today, and I think it would actually be a really good movie or show if like an Exorcist, but it was Hulk Hogan. Like not just Hulk Hogan playing him, like actually Hulk Hogan.
Legit Hogan.
He would run in like big boot the door and he'd do that fucking point to him, like, let me tell you something, brother. And then he would try to get the demon out and give him leg drops and shit.
Oh my god.
That would actually be good. That'd be a good show.
When he's flicking the fucking holy water on him, he's like Hulkamania is running wild.
That would be fucking good,
Dude,
dude.
that'd be amazing.
Alrighty, so back to this. I don't know how we got off track. So how to tell if somebody is possessed. According to Father, I'm not going to pronounce this right, Cipriana de Mayo. I don't know if that's right.
Cinco de Mayo.
He's been an exorcist since 1952. He specified that the exorcist will usually say a, quote, a prolonged prayer to the point where if the adversary is present, there's a reaction. A possessed person has various general attitudes towards an exorcist who is seen by the adversary as an enemy ready to fight him. And he also said There's no lack of frightening facial expressions, threatening words or gestures, and other things, but especially blasphemies against God and Our Lady. Oh, I left a word out. Against God and Our Lady Peace.
Oh, yeah, I knew that was coming.
I know you're out there, somewhere out there. That's the second time that's made it into a podcast.
Yeah, this guy's famous for quoting, I was home and watching TV and The Exorcist was on, got me thinking about you. That's just from Scream.
Yeah, dude. How to avoid being possessed. And this is all according to the Church of God International website.
Nice.
Which I already had favorited just because I like to, see what's going on there. And this is how to avoid being possessed by a demon. Quote, avoid all forms of the occult and New Age spiritualism. Also be aware of the harmful effects of drugs such as cocaine and heroin and heavy metal, quote, music.
Oh, my God.
Most drug addicts and heavy metal fans are not demon-possessed, but the connection of drug abuse and heavy metal with the occult and with aberrant behavior, depression, and suicidal tendencies cannot be ignored. So,
yeah,
I agree. That's 100%.
Yeah.
Especially if they listen to, like, Weezer.
Every time I hear Buddy Holly, man, I just want to end it all.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking
For
love
real,
that.
man.
I love that song.
Like, that guy who, like, carved Slayer into his arm? They actually did that first with Blink-182. Oh, sorry.
He just has the Blink-182 rules thing on him from Workaholics.
Also, begin with prayers, and if you want to lead a good and sinless life, avoid anything with Satan, conjuring the dead, or anything in regards to revealing future events, such as psychics or palm readings. And I'm going to say that's bullshit, because Miss Cleo,
Oh, yeah.
well, she's dead, and she...
Wait, she's dead?
Yeah, she's dead.
Holy crap.
And she was, like... a scammer,
yeah.
but fuck, I love Miss Cleo.
Dude, I don't know why I was surprised that she's dead. Like, why did that surprise me?
I don't know.
Like, there's...
I'd be,
like, Paul Walker's dead. That's something that should surprise somebody, but not Miss Theo.
Avicii is dead.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Treadwell is dead.
Oh my god, no.
That doesn't
he's
surprise
not.
us.
So, alright, anything on demonic possession before we jump into our case of Anneliese Michel?
Go ahead and jump into it, because I have a really bad joke.
Okay. Anneliese Michel. She was born September 21st, 1952, in Klingenberg, West Germany. She was raised by her parents, Anna and Joseph, and had 3 sisters. And she also had another sibling that passed away whenever she was young. And her family was that of a very strict Catholic family, the kind with some of the more extreme beliefs and elements in the religion.
You can find her in a movie. It's called Anneliese and Michelle's High School Reunion. Yeah, I had to get it out of the way. It's so stupid.
We invented Post-its.
Oh,
dude,
God.
I fucking love that
That movie's
movie.
a shit.
Fuck, that's
The
a good
sequel
movie.
is called The Faculty.
And one thing I will say before we go any further is you will see a lot of conflicting and different stories in regards to Anneliese Michel.
Absolutely.
I read so many different articles and pages about her, and some say one thing, some say another thing. So what we're going to give to you guys may not be the exact story you read. It could be different. We don't really know. This is just what I saw the most of.
Yeah, there's a whole Wikipedia page about her just liking Cheez-Its.
So Anneliese, she was described as being kind, loving, sweet, obedient, and also withdrawn and very religious. I think that would be as she got a little bit older.
Yeah.
Her mother said, quote, she liked life. She sang willfully. She was an intelligent girl. Teachers and professors always complimented her, which is kind of the opposite of what I heard. I thought I read somewhere that, I don't even want to say it's not funny, that teachers dated her and her parents hated her. It's just that Pink song.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't proud of that one. She was always in a fight. So in 1968 or possibly 69,
We're going to say 69.
at the age of 16, is a good summer,
Ooh.
she had her first blackout.
She got her first real 6-string that year, too.
She oh, God. She had her first blackout, and she awoke from it and thought, like, oh, that was weird, but she felt, like, okay. Until later that night, she had a seizure. Wow. She felt as if she had some immense pressure weighing down on her and pinning her to her bed, and she even peed herself a little bit.
Nice.
I don't know if that's true. I saw that on one source. Just thought I'd throw it in.
No.
Yeah, but that one source went and felt the sheets.
Yeah. The one source hung the sheets up. Never mind. It's going to be a Waterboy joke.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
And
That's a sheet right there.
And she tried to yell out for help, but she couldn't make a sound. So that's super fucking scary.
Yeah.
Some people note it as it kind of sounds like sleep paralysis also.
Yeah.
Doctors told her family that she suffered from temporal... Okay, I meant to write temporal lobe, but I wrote temporal love.
Oh, nice. Kevin left.
Suffered from temporal lobe epilepsy, which would result in her having mood changes, hallucinations, loss of awareness, and a lot more other side effects.
That makes a lot of sense.
I've got temporal love.
And over the next few years... Also, we are going to be skipping around a little bit, so if it gets confusing, I apologize.
Yeah.
And over the next few years, she would be put on some medications, including an anti-seizure medication, and she was even having brain scans done during this time, but they all came back as normal, and saying she had a normal, healthy brain. However, towards the end, they would report that there was just a mild, irregular patterns, but overall, she was said to have a healthy brain.
Yeah.
And also during her... from 16 till for years and years on, she's always going to all these different doctors, and they're telling her one thing and telling her different things and putting her on different medications all the time. And this family already lost one of their daughters once when they were younger, so they're a little uneasy when it comes to medical help.
Absolutely.
But I mean, they're still taking her to the doctors and hospital every time something's wrong.
Yeah.
And now, one thing I will note is some sources say that she went to psychiatric hospitals when she was younger. Some say that they didn't.
See, I feel like that's where she should have gone.
And that's the thing. That's why they conflict each other, because some say she spent some time there,
Yeah.
but some sources say she never went there, and that was one of the problems. But they will say that when she got a little older, one of the reasons she didn't want to go get regular medical help anymore is because she didn't want them to think she was crazy and put her in a psychiatric hospital.
Yeah. Which
So I really don't know if she was in some when she was younger or not.
that just sounds like a really extreme form of like some kind of anxiety or something.
Yeah.
My mom had seizures for a while, and they actually tested her like recently, and like they found out that a lot of them were just panic attacks. She would like not know where she was and stuff.
She started having some sort of seizures. They weren't like really, really dangerous or bad. Like they could get taken care of for cheap. It was only like $5, and they just called it little seizures. I didn't want to follow.
Dude,
I didn't want to
holy
follow.
shit.
I feel bad because I didn't want to follow your real story about seizures and your mom, but I already had that joke in the chamber.
My mom's were mild too, so by that I mean she always gets mild at B-dubs. But no, I mean she didn't really have anything bad, and they found out that some of them may not have been seizures.
So yeah, she continued to have a couple more seizures, but it was like kind of spread out. It'd be like once or twice a year.
Yeah.
And during this whole time, it started when she was 16. She's still going to school, but because she'll be having seizures and going through some medical stuff, she'll get taken out of school for a while, and then she'll have to go make up a year. And so it's just very difficult for her.
Yeah.
And one of the events that happened to her, her mother stated that she saw Anneliese staring at a statue of the Virgin Mary in her room.
Oh, shit.
And that her eyes were jet black. And her hands appeared to turn into thick paws with claws.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Some say just claws, like the way she was holding them. Like, I kind of picture it as like the Elisa Lamb.
I was just about to say
claws.
that. Yeah, that shit was fucking scary as hell.
Fuck
Also,
yeah, it was.
that scene, I believe, is in The Exorcist.
Oh, is it?
I believe.
Well, the movie,
There's something with the statue.
The Exorcism of Emily Rose was based on this case. I've never seen
It
it.
was so bad.
I know
dude.
they made like 3 of them. I've never seen them.
Oh, see, I only saw the first one, dude. It's fucking trash.
Dude, you know what's fucked up? After like all this happens, someone asked her mom if she saw the movies. Her mom's like, "Why the fuck would I want to watch those,
dude? That's
like, why would I want to watch those movies?
That's like legit the victims like family of Wolf Creek or watching Wolf Creek. Why would you ever do that?
So Anneliese would soon be checked into a hospital or clinic. So I don't know if that's psychiatric or just I've seen some cases say just clinic for some of the problems she had, like she had tuberculosis, they thought maybe, or epilepsy, so they'd put her in clinics for those.
I heard that.
Imagine if the family of Wolf Creek actually did go watch that, though.
I mean,
they're just like, huh, this is a pretty good movie.
Yeah, I mean, I
Like,
feel
oh,
like
shit.
I feel like nobody said that was a good movie, but if they did, I mean,
I hope
props to them. It would probably be more fucking scary. I imagine.
I know they changed his name because they based it off of Wolf Creek. They based it off of Ivan and another killer. But imagine if Ivan's, like, all of his brothers and sisters went to see it. Like, what the fuck? Did Ivan do that? Ivan. Like, where's Ivan? It's like, motherfucker, he's in jail. He killed all those people.
It's like Billy Madison's friend.
Oh, yeah. Norm McDonald.
Yeah, he's in school.
So Anneliese would soon be checked into a hospital or clinic, and unfortunately for her, she would continue to have more seizures, and her hallucinations escalated as well. And now she was starting to see demons and demonic faces that would talk to her, telling her and promising her that she would, quote, stew in hell.
She also met Kid Rock at the methadone clinic.
You can't, okay. Speaking of that song, though, you can't tell me that during Ready to Rumble, when that fucking gate lowers down and that song's playing
yeah.
and
You
they come
get
out,
pumped, man.
it's like Goldberg,
Yeah.
Kidman, and like Booker T, I
Yeah,
think.
you still
but it's
get
still
pumped.
fucking
Oh, yeah.
awesome,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
I swear to God, when it happened, I gave my dad a neck breaker and he's dead. That didn't happen. I made that part up. But I was pumped. I probably had a boner or something. So after she starts seeing those demon faces, she tells the doctors about this, and they decide now that they're going to put her on antipsychotic drugs, which didn't help her at all either. So she's always getting told that her medical condition is one thing and then something else, and all of her medications are always changing.
Yeah, I feel like that medicine a lot of times makes it worse anyway.
And I believe this was in around 1973
Yeah,
when
so
she went to the hospitals.
they didn't have as good medicine then either.
Yeah.
I think they probably just gave them like fucking Smarties.
In
Here
fact,
you
she told him, she was like, your love is like bad medicine. But then she changed her mind. She's like, well, bad medicine is what I need.
That was exactly what happened.
And during all this time, nobody thought that she was possessed. Most just believed it was some sort of illness that they weren't quite sure what it was. So yeah, possession wasn't even anything that was brought up until later on. But she was still able to live her life for the most part. She graduated high school, and as I'll mention later on, she did have a boyfriend. This wasn't until college, though, when she had a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Because her family was pretty super religious, so they didn't let her do a lot of shit.
Yeah.
However, during the 2 to 3 years leading up to her, I put psychiatric hospital visits, which I don't know if they were actually that or just clinics. Her health was deteriorating. She was having seizures. She had a sore throat so bad that her tonsils needed to be removed. She would get pneumonia, a tuberculosis infection. So she's just
shit.
having bad shit after bad shit going on and happening to her.
Yeah.
So her life is just fucking super sad, like all the way through.
How common is tuberculosis? That's still pretty rare, right?
I had to get a TB shot whenever I went into medical shit.
Yeah, I did too. I have a TB test before my new job. So I was wondering, like, is it still common?
I'm not quite sure. Do you know anything about that, Spence?
No.
Well, all right, if he doesn't know, we don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Daniel will fucking
Isn't it
know.
in the lungs?
I believe so, yeah.
Tuberculosis? Yeah, I don't know.
And on top of all that bad shit, she's always being looked at by doctors trying to find out what's wrong with her. So her mental health is deteriorating even more as well. So she's physically, all this bad shit's happening. Mentally, they can't figure out what's wrong with her. She's constantly being taken into doctors. And Anneliese, she tried to cope with all of this by burying herself in her Christian literature and practices. And while she was staying in the hospitals, the other kids and people were never very nice or kind or welcoming to her, which just made her shy away and become isolated. Like, they would call her like snot nose.
Jesus.
And yeah, so it's like, it's not a surprise that she would become depressed and withdrawn after all
sounds
this
like
shit.
she just has like a really shitty life.
Yeah.
And like I know they used to say nice pants, why do you wear them up to your tits?
And I also read that her mother was super protective of her, like not just because of her physical and mental conditions, but also because of their Christian beliefs. Wanted to protect her from boys. So she wouldn't let her do any of the normal teenage stuff, such as school dances and normal activities that other girls her age were doing. Like they didn't want her to hang out with boys and stuff like that.
Dude, holy shit! I almost cracked the Rudolph joke. Dude, holy shit! It was just gonna be like they didn't let him do anything.
And we're gonna put the DMX Rudolph in right here. No, I'm just joking. And according to one doctor, this was way, way later on when they're trying to figure out what all's going on with her. He believed that Anneliese, because of the way her strict family was, that she started to resent her mother and be upset with the dysfunction in the family, and that was the reason for her acting the way that she was whenever she would have like these mental breakdowns and stuff.
Yeah.
That would come way later after everything, though.
I mean, makes sense.
And in the middle of the night, Anneliese would hear knocks and noises in her bedroom. No other member of her family would hear this, so once again, she would be taken to the doctors and have her hearing checked,
Jesus.
which would turn out to be just fine. Her hearing was perfect.
Stop going to the doctors at this point.
So she felt super alone, and she has a quote on feeling alone, which is pretty fucking sad.
Oh, man.
She said, quote, "It is a terror which goes through all my limbs and settles there. It is a dread that makes you think you are right there in the middle of hell. You are totally, utterly deserted." That's a quote from later on also, but still, that's fucking terrifying, man.
Yeah, that's horrible.
And this is about the time when it started to get brought up that maybe she had been or was starting to get possessed by a demon or some sort of evil spirit. According to her mother, one evening at the dinner table, Anneliese's hands were reported to have swelled up to a very large size, and then she cried out, "I have black hands. My savior, forgive me."
The fuck?
Yeah. As this occurred, she also claimed that she could see more demon faces on the wall. She described them as having 7 crowns and 7 horns. And all this had been going on from when she was 16 to 1973. So that's so far to where I think 20 or 21.
I feel like 7 crowns and 7 horns could be like the new Game of Thrones book.
Yeah, that sounds like a beer.
Oh,
also.
yeah, dude. That probably is.
Yeah, or just when we get all 7 of the brothers together and they all get boners.
No, fuck yes, dude.
So I don't know how to pronounce this name. I don't know if it's Thea Hines or Thea Haynes. I think it's Thea Hines. But he was a member of a local church.
Oh, it's Theo from Cosby Show.
Oh, Theo Huxtable, my bad. And this is the part of the show where we talk about that episode where they find a joint in one of his school books.
Oh, fuck yes.
No, that is an episode, but now's not the time. There's too much bad shit in the world going on to talk about that.
Yeah, we don't need to bring that up.
So Thea Hines, a member of their local church, suggested that since none of the medications had been working and all else seemed to be ineffective, the most obvious answer would be demonic possession.
Yeah, definitely.
And so we kind of leave out some of these details because she meets with like 1,000 different doctors and 1,000 priests. Like, she's constantly being looked at by priests and doctors. So I just didn't want to keep bringing it up. It gets super confusing.
Yeah.
But once they start with like the exorcism stuff, they quit going to regular doctors because they tried regular doctors for like 4 or 5 years and it was just getting worse. It wasn't doing anything. So they wanted to start looking at priests to see if she was being possessed by a demon or anything like that. To which Anneliese, it was also her idea because she also started saying, "I'm possessed by a demon. That's what's making all this happen."
Yeah.
And it was during this time, toward the end of 1973, that Anneliese started meeting with Father Ernst Alt. I don't know. I don't have a joke for that name, but Ernst Alt.
Dude, I feel bad for that guy.
Yeah, if you actually hold those two and tab, you'll bring up. Never mind. That's not even funny.
I'm pretty sure I've seen Twitter trolls called Ernst Alt-Right.
Oh, man.
So she started meeting with Father Ernst Alt, and he also believed that she was under the influence of Satan or some sort of demon. He was initially skeptic at first, though, however, because he didn't know how that would be possible because Anneliese had been baptized.
There's no way when that guy shows up to anywhere he ever says his first and last name.
No.
There's no way. There's no way he wants to.
It's like, please, just call me Father. Okay, Father Ernst Alt.
Like, I feel like I wouldn't be able to say it. Like, I don't even want to try.
What was it again? Ernst the backspace? That's not funny. And as time went on, Anneliese grew more and more intolerant of sacred and religious objects such as crucifixes and holy water. This also led to the belief that she was in fact possessed by a demon. So her family's real religious, like we mentioned. They got crucifixes and holy pictures, religious pictures all over, and they started to just bother her. She said it would pain her to look at, and it would anger her, and it would hurt her to start entering churches, she said. Yeah. So she quit going to church also, which is a huge deal for a super religious family.
Yeah. She did like Fiji water still, though.
She did still like Fiji water.
I saw that.
Okay, this... Okay, we're going to talk about little Nicky for a second. Like, you know how his little Nicky, his devil brothers, like they can't go into churches and stuff, but they possess people and they can, but they can't walk in there.
Yeah.
So the one guy's feet are wrapped in aluminum foil.
Yeah, it makes
And then
no
the preacher
sense.
is just standing on a pizza.
Yeah.
How the fuck is that? How do you get to the pizza?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. All right, sorry.
I like how we're questioning little Nicky making sense, but
how the fuck did he get the pizza in there? Okay.
Yeah.
In
You're allowed to take pizza in.
Oh, yeah.
Just bring it in.
That is true. That is a good point.
It's not like God smites the pizza when you walk through the door.
But he would have had to like walked on the pizza to get where he was.
How did he get to the pizza?
Yeah.
Though? Unless he had more than one pizza, he would set down one pizza, jump to that one, get the pizza behind him, put that in front of him, then keep switching. That would work.
All right.
Have you ever seen Aladdin?
Yes.
Yeah,
you know how the magic carpet flies?
Yeah, but that's a magic carpet. This was just regular pizza.
How do you know it was a regular pizza?
All right, forget
We don't know.
possession. This is the new podcast. All
Yeah,
right, we're figuring
okay.
this out.
So maybe we'll finish this case, but right now we're going to talk about that pizza and the priest and little Nicky. In 1973, her father Joseph took her on a pilgrimage to San Damiano. I think that's how you pronounce it. A church monastery in northern Italy.
That sounds like a place you would get possessed.
I know.
Like if I was ever gonna fucking like go somewhere to get possessed, I feel like I would go there.
Or if I was going to go at Bon Jovi to fight some vampires.
Fuck yeah.
Speaking of,
I actually like that movie.
fucking, is it Eddie Winslow's in that movie?
He is, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wait, there's a movie with Bon Jovi fighting vampires?
Yeah, and Eddie Winslow.
And
yeah,
Eddie Winslow's in it.
doesn't
He gets
it-
what's the
turns
movie
into a
called?
vampire
Yeah.
by getting a blowjob. Is it just called Vampires?
It's like, isn't it like a
This has
sequel? or
just
something?
rocked my world.
I think it's just called Vampires. But Bon Jovi has a surfboard with all of his weapons in it.
Isn't there a John Carpenter one like
I think
that's
is that what it
vampires?
is?
I think it's like a sequel to that or some shit.
Oh.
Yeah,
But doesn't Eddie
All right,
Winslow...
I know what I'm getting tonight.
Eddie Winslow, he gets a blowjob from a
yeah,
vampire.
Yeah,
she
and
bites his
yeah,
dick.
Yeah, that's what happens.
And he knew it. Like, he just let it happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame him.
No, it's Eddie Winslow, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And, like, just like that time he fought the dragons, dude. He might have got his ass whipped, but he'll rise again.
yeah. I mean, it's Eddie Winslow. He can't be throwing fucking blowjobs away, dude. He's got to give that
He's
dick
only
out.
got so many left. He's only got so many left. He's got to keep... Okay, here we go. So they went to San Damiano, a church monastery in northern Italy. When they arrived, Anneliese refused to enter the shrine and stated that she was unable to enter as the ground below her feet were beginning to burn her. And she wasn't able to look at any of the holy symbols and pictures anymore either, as it would pain her. And this part is really fucking weird, but kind of awesome at the same time. And on the bus ride home, she completely changed. She was using a deep masculine voice and was ridiculing some of the people around her. And she also exuded a foul odor that very much smelled like burning shit.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That's how everyone described it.
Dude, that's awesome.
And she wasn't the only one that smelled it. The people on the bus had also reported the burning shit smell.
Dude,
Wait, so why? What was Toof doing this day?
dude, what does burning shit smell like?
Well, the thing is, though, is I did...
We can find out
I
tonight.
did some more research, and they can explain the burning shit because, Tim, you were actually on that bus,
Yeah.
and they had a microwave, and you were just heating up some of your mom's homemade lasagna. I'm just joking. So some sources say that only she could smell the burning shit, but I've seen a lot more that say everyone else could smell it and report it.
Because I was going to say, like, portable DVD players weren't out yet, so there's no way she was watching Joe Dirt 2.
I knew it, dude. I knew it. But yeah, so I titled this The Shit Stink Event.
Nice.
And the shit stink event happens more than once. But I've never seen her read if they check to see if she shit her pants or not. Or if she was just able to give off that smell because of a demon possession. I don't know. I don't know if anyone was like, excuse me, did you light your shit? Did you light your shitty underwear on fire? Or
I am kind of curious on what.
It's like a sword swallower. but she lights a turd on fire.
Fuck yes, dude. I'm just kind of curious on what that would smell like.
Shit, it's fucking awful. Like like whenever I first discovered magnifying glasses burning shit, I used to do that to my dog's turds, and it fucking smells awful.
Wait,
So-
this is true?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck
I was
yeah, dude.
poor, man. What else was I gonna do?
There were ants.
I
You should've
had
done it to ants.
yeah, but when they're all gone, man, all you got left is dog shit.
Hey, they're
The
all
ants were all gone.
I was summer vacation.
I was about to say, dude, we have plenty in here if you want to fucking kill some of ours.
And after her return home, she started sleeping about an hour a night. So, like, that's it. And sometimes during the middle of the night, she used to repeat, Jesus, forgiveness and mercy, forgiveness and mercy. She used to kneel and rise over and over again, and then she would drop to her knees just chanting this. And this was, like, causing her knees to get all fucked up and bloody and weak.
Wow.
And causing herself severe ulcers. So they would wake up in the middle of the night, and she would just be chanting that shit. Jesus.
And she would also be chanting, Jesus, take the wheel.
Oh,
Jesus,
fuck yes.
take the wheel. Things get a lot weirder.
Oh, yeah.
1975.
Jesus.
This is where all the really weird shit happens and when the exorcisms begin.
So the other shit wasn't even weird
I mean, it's weird, but
compared to this.
this is weirder.
Oh, God.
In May 1975, she was hit with severe emotional trauma. Her grandmother passed away, and she was said to have like a really strong connection and relationship with her. And one of her sisters had moved away also, and this took a huge toll on her emotionally and mentally, and it doesn't help. She already has all these problems stacking up.
Mm.
And she stated that it was getting harder and harder to cope with reality. And this is the time where some suggest that she started to suffer from another mental breakdown
Yeah.
and began to develop multiple personalities.
Oh, yeah.
Some, however, explained her conditions as demonic possession. So it kind of goes half and half. But a lot of the stuff never comes out until after everything.
Yeah.
So, like, all the doctors had no idea what to do or how to help her. But as soon as everything happens afterwards, then they start coming out with, oh, this is what it is. But they couldn't help her when she was alive.
Yeah.
So that sucks. Father Arnold Renz soon became involved with the family. He was a senior priest and an exorcist, and he stated that upon his first visit, she would be repeatedly thrown to the floor by a great force, and each time it happened, she would get to her knees and then recite the Hail Mary. So she would just like fall to the ground like something was throwing her, and then she would grab the Nintendo 64 controller while playing NFL Blitz and throw the Hail Mary. Or no, I messed that up. She would do she would recite the Hail Mary prayer. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah. No, I think it was the first one.
Okay.
Also-
In NFL Blitz, there's only two plays you need: the
Oh, yeah.
bomb and
Oh, yeah.
Hail Mary.
That's it, dude.
That's all you
it.
fucking
Yeah.
need.
And also, I mean, it sucks she was getting thrown down by that force and all that. But dude, Luke had a practice on something. Fucking fucked that up. It's just a Star Wars joke.
And her mother said that this happened often, like her being thrown into the walls or the floor, and said like she would hurt herself. Sometimes she would just scrape her face against the walls. And because she was being thrown to the floor so much, she just began to sleep on the floor instead of the bed because she was always getting thrown out of it.
Jesus.
Now, if you've seen a picture of this girl, she's actually very attractive.
Really?
She's a very pretty girl. And then you can see pictures of her during like her last few years, and it's insane. And then the pictures of her during the exorcisms and after, dude, they're scary as fuck. And in court, after the entirety of this case, the priest stated that they had sent Anneliese to as many doctors and psychiatrists that they could, and the mother backed him up as well, saying that they had tried for years. But it was Dr. Luthi who had recommended that the family consult I don't know if it's pronounced Jesuit, but that's a religious official, for help.
Is Dr. Luthi a guy or a girl?
I think it's a guy.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, ended up getting really popular with this show, I Love Luthi.
No.
But later in court, Dr. Luthi would deny ever saying that it was his idea or that he recommended reaching out to a priest. And since the medicine wasn't working, it was finally decided on that the best action to take would be an exorcism. And according to Father Gabriel, the former chief exorcist for the Vatican, who has over 30,000 exorcisms under his belt, he said resistance to medicine is one of the typical symptoms of demonic interference. So, okay. All right, Father Gabriel, I see you. Got over 30,000 exorcism under his belt.
Oh, shit.
So, all right.
Shit. Oh, wait. I think you misread that. Doesn't it say 30,000 circumcisions under his belt?
Yeah, dude, his dick looks real weird after that. It's not even funny. So one quick note, though. During this time, because this was all during the early 1970s, epilepsy wasn't as understood as it is today.
Absolutely.
And there's a drug-resistant form of epilepsy that accounts for up to like 40% of people that have it, like 20 to 30 to 40 or so. So it's not impossible. That might be the reason why she was unresponsive to the medication. But however, I don't think epilepsy alone could really account for all these strange things that are going on with her.
Oh, yeah, there has to be more.
And some people will also put the blame on a lot of this stuff happening, blaming it on the movie The Exorcist, which came out in 1973. So that came out right around this time.
Yeah.
Oh, so the book came out in 71, and then the movie came out in 73. So it's possible that some of the priests, may possibly Anneliese, who knows who could have all read this book
totally.
or seen the movie. So some of the stuff sounds like some of the stuff that happened in the movie and book.
Absolutely.
So just keep that in the back of your head also. And before the exorcism stage, they had a couple priests meet with her at the home. One priest sat next to her and commanded, "Depart from her, say who you are." And this caused Anneliese to go into a berserk frenzy state. And then she grabbed the rosary around her neck and completely destroyed it. And only the most powerful demons can destroy holy objects, they said. So this caused great concern to the priests and church. And because of this event, the exorcism was then approved. And on Sunday, August 3rd, 1975, her very first exorcism would happen. And as soon as these exorcisms begin, shit gets crazy weird. And she'll start speaking in tongues in deep, dark, demonic voices. She'll start yelling and screaming. And they started recording the audio tapes of their exorcisms.
Yeah.
And they're fucking terrifying.
I remember
they're
listening
scary
to them.
as fuck. I was listening to them today at work, and
Oh, fuck that.
I work alone on one floor.
Yeah.
And it's completely dark in the morning, and I kept listening to it and thinking like a fucking like demon hand was gonna reach under the belt and grab me, and I kept looking.
Grab you by the wiener.
Yeah, she'd have to have good fucking aim for that. It'd be kind of nice though. It was hot in there. If she would just reach up and maybe unstick my nuts, that'd be all right. But no, it's fucking terrifying. I was gonna put in some clips.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because that just means I'd have to listen to them again. So maybe we will. I don't know if we should put them in right here, put them in towards the very end, so we could give you a warning.
Would you rather listen to that again or watch the end scene from Sleepaway Camp?
I would listen to these tapes over watching the end of Sleepaway Camp any day.
All right, so yeah.
So I'll pull it up real quick just so you guys can hear a little bit.
Der Hass lässt hier
Der
keinen.
Neid über die andere Engel.
Ruhe gibt's nur dort, wo die Liebe ist. Nur Hass. Wo nur Hass ist, da gibt's keine Ruhe. Weil er nicht dorthin kommt, wo der Schöpfer ist. Im Namen des Vaters. Durch Liebe, Kraft,
Veni
Amen.
Mamma Domina, per exultavis Deus meus, in Deus salutari meo, via ex humilitatem ancilla sue, ex enim ex soffiata medicem omnes generationes, via fecit mihi magna vivoda. Misericordia Domini proge.
So yeah, maybe we put in a clip right there. Maybe we didn't. It's scary as fuck because it's like a skinny, thin, early 20s girl who is just yelling, making these scary as fuck demonic noises. It's scary as shit. Especially because like if you make scratchy or raspy like voices with like yourself, your throat will kill you after a minute. And we'll talk later how many times she actually does this. And whenever Anneliese was in her normal state, she wanted the exorcisms to happen because she wanted to get rid of the demons.
Yeah.
And the priests were like so unprepared and shocked by all of this that they were like, fuck, we gotta record audio tapes of this. And so after, I think they didn't do a couple of them, but yeah, they ended up recording like 50 exorcisms or so. So there's like 50 audio tapes, somewhere around there.
Wow.
And whether or not you believe in demonic presence or if it is just some sort of mental disorder, it's fucking scary as shit regardless either way.
Yeah.
They are terrifying. Even if you don't believe in it, just the thought of this girl going through this is scary as hell.
Are they proven to actually be from that? Like, is there a way to prove it?
Actually, at the case, they do turn over the audio tapes during the trial. They don't use them as evidence, but they do like hand over these audio tapes.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah.
and it was reported that while this was going on, the exorcisms, they would ask her questions, and it's like they would ask her something in Chinese, and she would respond back like in that language, even though they said there's no way that she would know that.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Some sources say don't mention that, some do, so I don't know if that part's true or not, but they said she fully understood Latin as well.
Yeah, and that's the dead language. That's kind of hard to understand.
And if you have Mrs. Graves.
No, didn't help me very much.
And she was actually also an expert typer, but I was going to make a Mavis speaking joke. Never mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were 6 demons that she believed she was possessed by that would speak for her. These are the demons: Lucifer, Judas, Nero, Brother Nero.
Oh, yeah.
Cain, Hitler.
Holy shit.
And Fleischmann. I think that's what it is.
Dude.
So only one of those is an actual demon.
2 of those are wrestlers.
Brother Nero.
And Cain.
Yeah. But so those are the 6 demons that the priests would interact with whenever during the exorcism.
So wouldn't Lucifer just be the fucking devil? Yeah. All right.
And they said that whenever they were speaking to the Hitler demon, that she would actually speak in the correct Austrian inflections. So this was like really fucking weird and crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know if you believe in demons possessing them, because I mean, only one of those is a demon.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you would maybe believe that it wouldn't just have to be a demon; it could just be like evil spirits. I mean, I guess that's how Hitler and Judas and all those other ones. Fleischmann was an old priest, I think, from like, I have no idea, like 1400s or 1500s, I can't remember, but he was an old priest. So I mean, I guess if you believe in demons possessing, you might as well believe that evil spirits could do it also.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
No.
But yeah, when the demons, they would criticize the church, they would ridicule the faithful, they would curse, yell, and scream at the priests. And as Hitler, she would say, people are stupid as pigs. They think it's all over after death. It goes on.
So it's supposed to actually be like Adolf Hitler, though, right?
Yeah, but remember, this is in Germany.
Oh, okay.
Right after, this is in 1970.
Yeah, so it's not too
like
long.
It's post World Wars.
Yeah.
World War, so.
I heard when she was the Hitler demon, she always passed really bad gas.
Oh, come on, dude.
Wow.
That was the answer to the
That
shit
was
stink.
excellent. That was excellent.
But yeah, she would spend some days acting wild and out of her own control. She would spend entire days attacking her family and her boyfriend, Peter. And they all reported that she had incredible strength, and it would actually take multiple people to get her to stop, even though she was a small, thin girl. And especially during this time, her weight was dropping very, very quickly.
Oh, you can tell from the pictures. Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll talk about how much she weighed at the end.
Yeah.
And sometimes she would bark like a demonic dog. Like she would get under the table and just start barking like crazy. She would only eat flies and spiders.
What the
sometimes.
fuck?
Like she wouldn't eat any solids.
Holy shit.
Huh?
She's like a
Yeah.
frog.
Wait. Repeat that.
She refused to eat solids and barely drank any liquids. And sometimes she would only eat flies and spiders.
She's a frog.
And that is something you'll see on a lot of sources.
Nice.
However, more than once,
How did they get enough flies and spiders?
Wait for this next part, though. More than once, she would piss all over the floor, and then she would get down and lick it up.
Oh, wait. The Exorcist came out fucking before this, because, I mean, she pees on the floor in The Exorcist.
But this is like, she's really doing this shit.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't lick it up, so yeah.
And she was also beating the shit out of herself. And you can find pictures of her during her last year. And like we mentioned, she's actually a very pretty girl. And then you see all these pictures of her, and it's just fucking heartbreaking and scary.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
She's destroying herself. And here's something that Father Alt said. Quote, her head and face were so bruised, they looked almost black. Her eyes were so swollen that one could hardly see them. She was so battered that it was impossible to recognize her, which is true. If you Google search her on the images,
yeah, you find her
you
really
won't
quickly.
even fucking recognize her in those last pictures.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was said to have physical illness, heart problems, circulatory problems. She could barely walk. Some days her legs would always lock up on her or give out. Her knees were constantly bruised and bloody from dropping to the floor to pray or from being thrown around.
It's like her knees were running Windows Vista.
Oh my God, her knees are running Windows Vista.
Like,
oh God.
What if just one day she just woke up and she's like, hey guys, I'm good.
She's like,
Yeah.
y'all been zapped. And
The shrooms finally wore off, so I'm doing all right.
she's like, holy shit, I'll never do Duster again. She's like, well, I better go back to school. I got an exam today in my sophomore English class. Like, you're 23. But yeah, so yeah, even though she had all those problems, yet she still had the strength to attack her family and herself. And they would all say it really took many people just to counter her strength and get her to stop.
Dude, somebody's got to have a fucking shotgun at this point. I feel, and that's not even really a joke. Like, I honestly feel like, just kill her. Like, there's no way she's enjoying life.
It's sad. And this is only in the 70s.
Yeah.
This isn't like
20s
fucking
or something, 1800s.
1800s.
Yeah.
This is not that long ago, really.
Yeah.
And she would get so out of control during some exorcisms that they would actually have to chain her to the bed because she would keep attacking them and thrashing at them violently. And here's a quick sidebar, really quick, but holy shit. Her boyfriend, Peter, is fucking #wild, man.
Dude, let's see him.
Like, I don't have a picture of him.
Oh, damn it.
But just based on, like, he's been there for a few years now, I believe. And he's gone through all this shit, knowing that she's had all these problems. Like, she starts off with, like, all these seizures, mental breakdowns, mental problems stuff, and he stays with her. And then she says she starts seeing, like, demon faces. He stays with her. She's eating spiders, slurping up piss. The shit stinks.
Yeah, that might have been the end for me with the piss and the shit.
And just all this stuff, yelling out in the middle of the night, screaming your name in the pouring rain for
fuck
hours.
yes,
but no,
dude.
like all this shit she's doing, and he's still staying by her side. And it's super sad. Like, she would tell Peter that she hoped that the meds or exorcisms would work because she wanted to marry him when it was all over.
Oh, man.
And if they are as religious as the family is, then they most likely haven't had sex yet.
Yeah.
So he must really, really love this girl.
Absolutely.
So either like they didn't have sex yet, and he's got to have like the fucking blue balls from hell after all this.
Literally.
Or they were having sex.
Uh-oh.
And the crazy girls. It must have been fucking so good.
Yeah, or...
Like, I don't know why I picture it, but, like, he's on the bed, and she comes running in like fucking Ultimate Warrior running to the ring.
Yes, dude.
She comes running full blast. I was going to say, she kicks the door, like, shakes the dresser. Shakes the dresser like the fucking ropes, dude.
Yeah.
If that was me, I would have nutted right there and had a small, soft macaroni noodle dick after that part.
Well, I heard because you don't talk about his father too much, but I heard he waits a little longer because his dad was Carl Tanzler.
Oh, Tim, no. But no,
I'm sorry.
no. All jokes aside, though, Peter is #wild man. He must have really loved this girl, sticking by her for all this.
Peter's
stuff.
honorary brother for this.
Honorary brother's Peter,
yeah, he's
dude.
Peter. Good job, Peter.
And I bet he was fucking had a beautiful Peter.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. And then, while talking to Peter outside, she started to walk off alone without him, and she went into a trance. And Peter was like, okay, what the hell's going on? But he knew like all this weird stuff was happening.
Yeah.
And then she would later come back and say the reason she went off on her own is because she was walking with the Virgin Mary. And this is what she told me. It pains my heart that so many souls are going to hell. Someone needs to do penance. Would you like to do penance for the souls so that they do not enter hell? And then told her that she had 3 days to answer.
Wow.
And she told Peter and her family, but they didn't really know what to say. They're like, they didn't want to be like, that didn't happen. Or anything like that.
What the fuck do you?
But one
say
thing they
that?
noticed is she actually looked happy after this. Like, it's like one of the first times they've seen her look happy in a long time. So the whole Virgin Mary thing starts, and then I think this is about the time where she starts to hurt herself more and wants to be the one that kind of like makes the sacrifice for everyone else.
Jesus.
So yeah, things shift. Told you, it gets really crazy.
No.
And during one of the exorcisms after this, 2 of the demons came out to speak, and the priest demanded them to worship the Virgin Mary. And after much demon talk and laughing, the demons appeared to have been banished. And Anneliese looked toward the priest, and in her normal voice, she said, "I'm completely free now. Completely free. It's so wonderful. Completely free."
Oh, wow. That just sounds creepy to me.
And she looked happy. But then, an unusual twist that wasn't supposed to happen. 15 minutes later, all the demons returned, stating that as much as they would want to leave, it wouldn't matter because they were trapped inside of her.
Wow.
But I also had a joke about Peter that I forgot to do, that like after the night that they had the Ultimate Warrior sex for like the first time, he went off and wrote Hands Down by Dashboard.
Oh, fuck yes,
This
dude.
is the best date I can ever remember.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Fuck, dude. I really hope they had Ultimate Warrior sex. That'd be fun.
And listen to Hands Down, even though that didn't exist for a really long time afterwards.
And so after this event, the demons would then complain about how they want to leave, but they can't. And sometimes she would be in this state like every day continuously, just yelling and screaming with their demon voice, them saying how they can't leave. And then during the beginning of 1976, Anneliese had claimed that something was going to change in July and that she would finally be free of the demons.
Yeah.
And sadly, on July 1st, at the age of 23, she would pass away shortly after her last exorcism. And by the time of her death, Anneliese had endured 67 exorcisms.
Jesus.
And some of the sessions lasted up to 4 hours.
Oh, shit.
And 42 of these sessions were recorded on tape. And so she's like very physically and mentally weak. And if you listen to these exorcisms, they're just high energy, yelling and screaming. She's shaking, using all of her energy. And she's like for 4 hours. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, if they ever played these on TV, they'd play it on Spike TV with all that energy. That's stupid. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, dude. And in her final moments, she softly spoke the words, "Mother, I'm afraid."
Oh, shit, that's scary.
And the official cause of death was malnutrition and starvation.
That makes sense.
And the autopsy report stated that when she died, she only weighed 68 pounds.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So now after this, there was a trial that happened. And we're just going to do a very quick summary because I think the trial went on for like a year maybe. I'm not sure if that's right, but there's a lot of information about this. But after her death, the 2 priests and also her parents were charged with negligent homicide. And at the time, this was the first official and public case of exorcism in Germany, as well as the only one where the audio tapes were brought in. However, they don't use any of the audio tapes during the trial. I'm not sure why. I think they'd at least listen to them.
Yeah, you would think they would.
I mean, maybe they listened to them, but they just couldn't use them as evidence. I'm not quite sure. However, there were a lot of questions and inconsistencies in the trial, as well as like who was to blame and what was the blame, what was the reasoning. And the cause of death, why and how she died, was also in question. Oh, and another thing is when they start talking about like, well, who is to blame? Some people blame the priests for it. Some people blame the doctors. And remember how I mentioned how all the doctors were like passing her off to all these other people and saying like, oh, this isn't working, you need like priests and stuff.
Yeah.
And then some of the priests at the very end were saying she needs a doctor, she needs medical help.
Oh, what the fuck?
So they're just passing it around, and like no one's really doing anything to help.
That's lame.
And one of them, weirdly, never mind.
What was it gonna be?
It was just gonna be like it was so dumb. It was gonna be a McDonald's play place joke.
I don't even know how you can get there.
Well, one of them said that the others, by not getting her to a doctor, were breaking the law. But that was just Judas Priest.
Oh, yes, dude.
And when they mentioned like she wouldn't eat or anything, like, well, did you try Hot Pockets? And the mom was like, no, we didn't try Hot Pockets.
And then they were like, you're fucking
they
guilty.
Hung her.
Oh, yeah. They fucking killed her right there.
And you know who the executioner was?
Who?
Let me look at my notes. The inventor of Hot Pockets.
So Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal.
I'm glad it was my father.
So the 4 would be found guilty. That's the 2 priests and her parents.
Found guilty of what?
However, for negligent homicide. However, they were only given a 6-month sentence, which would be suspended to 3 years probation.
Yeah.
And none of them would end up serving jail time.
Yeah.
And one of the notes about this is Anneliese, she was a 23-year-old adult at the time, and she wanted the exorcisms, and none of the actions taken were against her will.
Yeah, exactly.
Like besides the demonic possession, stuff like that. But like,
I mean,
they took her to doctors, they took her to priests, and it was all stuff that she wanted to do. Like, she wanted to have the exorcisms, and yeah, she was an adult, you know. So
imagine having your kid die in like that like horrible way, and then for a judge to be like, oh, you're guilty. I mean, they didn't go to prison, but still, it's pretty fucking dumb.
Yeah, this is her second child she's lost as well.
Yeah, that's pretty tough.
And one professor concluded that Anneliese's death had been the result of a, quote, a spiritual sickness and heavy psychic disturbance. So they do say, like, she had mental problems and a lot of personality disorders, things like that. And then the priests were kind of feeding off that, like fueling with it. Like, they didn't really do anything to stop it. They kind of fed into it. Like, yeah, you do have demonic presence, stuff like that. But I think if they were going to I mean, they did like, what do we say, like 67
9
exorcisms that were like some up to 4 hours. Isn't that a long time to fuck off? Like, if you didn't actually believe in that.
Yeah, that's pretty hard to, debunk.
But I do believe that one of the priests, they do believe also had mental problems himself. Yeah. Like the one that was like one of the main ones conducting them, I think. But I mean, it seems like a fucking long time to be like, yeah, we were just fucking off.
Oh, yeah.
And her family and boyfriend were all brought in as witnesses, and they talked about their experience and what all happened. And they all believe it was a demonic presence because they were there for a lot of this shit.
Are any of them still alive?
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Now, as far as epilepsy goes, her brain had a post-mortem examination, and it revealed that her brain was healthy and showed no damage of any epileptic seizures.
Wow.
And all of her inside organs all seemed to be healthy as well. And her body lacked any bed sores and no ulcerations on her skin that would be associated with starvation.
Jesus.
This is from a source. Source.
Yeah.
Also, her eyes were strangely dilated when she had died, but none of these details or information were deemed important to be used during the trial. So I don't know how much of that part is actually true. They did say, like, the family wanted to prove that she was possessed by a demon. And so, like, after this trial, which would have been, like, a year later, they're like, dig up her grave and her body won't be decomposed because of the possession.
Oh, shit.
And I think they actually do dig it up, but she was decomposed.
Oh, okay.
I just love the idea of like seeing a lawyer trying to prove death by demon in court, like Johnny Pisspot from Wet Hot American Summer.
That was their whole. And the thing is, this is a huge case. Like in the 70s, it was demonic possession versus. Like that was the defense.
Yeah,
like it's crazy.
Dude, imagine if she had him in decomposed. Like that would have been creepy as fuck.
She was in there. They open it up and she has a banjo. She's like, she's
like,
it was all a ruse.
She was like, warm out today.
Warm out yesterday. I don't know why she's a hillbilly now.
She's just in there playing with pogs.
But fat ass white girls.
So here's a statement from a Jesuit priest, a doctor and psychiatrist. He's all those things. His name is Ulrich Niemann. and whom priests call in exorcism cases. So he's kind of a guy who knows a lot of shit, it sounds like. Well, he told the Washington Post in 2005, quote, "As a doctor, I say there is no such thing as possession. In my view, these patients are mentally ill. I pray with them, but that alone doesn't help. You have to deal with them as a psychiatrist. But at the same time, when the patient comes from Eastern Europe and believes that he's been impaired by evil, it would be a mistake to ignore his belief system." And one thing that happened right after this trial is all these doctors and medical examiners are saying, she had this. This is how it should have been dealt with. This is how you deal with this.
Yeah.
But none of those people helped during any of those years or those times.
Yeah, when she was still
like,
alive.
They all had their theories and stuff after the trial. When she was alive, nothing worked, and none of the stuff they did helped.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like, as soon as the trial's over and she's dead, then they have all these theories and stuff.
It's just hindsight. Oh, this is what you should have done.
Now, as far as her family, her mother is still alive, and she lives in the same house that all this shit happened in.
Fuck that, dude.
Her dad is dead now.
Would she fucking live alone in the house?
Yeah, she lives alone in this house.
Fuck that.
And she can, like, see Anneliese's grave from, like, her window.
Dude, fuck all. Why?
That's the scariest
Why?
fucking thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. I would literally, like, I would never
yeah.
sleep. I would never turn a light off.
No. I wouldn't stay on that continent. I would be, if I had to
I'd be
choose
fucking gone,
between this house and Australia, I would pick this house because I'm still not going to Australia. I'm sorry, Daniel. That shit's way too fucking scary. I'll battle ghosts all day before I fuck with any of that shit over there.
I would have fucking lit that house on fire and waited till it was all the way down and then farted into the fucking embers before I lived there again.
Yeah, but you know that room at the top of the stairs?
Yeah, that's going to be my room. That's going to be my trophy room.
Yeah, that was my room. I'm thinking about making that my trophy room. How about I burn the house down and piss on the ashes? So, yeah, that's all we have for this case. There is a ton more of information. You can hear the audio tapes.
They're fucking
scary.
Yeah,
even if you don't
shit.
believe in it, it's still. I think it's almost scarier picturing someone with
just a mental illness.
just doing this.
Yeah, because you can't.
Fucking 67 times.
Yeah. I mean, that's the hardest one to explain.
At least.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So, what's your guys' thoughts, and what do you guys think what it was, or what are your thoughts, or any comments on any of this?
Thoughts and prayers?
I mean, I think it's definitely mental illness, and I do think that if there's any way that she heard about demon possession or something, like her mental illness, like she could have just started to think that she was possessed, and that could have made things worse, and made her really believe that she was. I have no idea like how the fucking audio things like happened. I don't know how you could ever make those noises.
Yeah, those noises are insane. It sounds like a fucking power saw is going on.
Like I feel like that's impossible to really say. I mean, we weren't there. I mean, I don't know, but I feel like the rest is mental illness that was made worse by the priest saying, "Oh yeah, you're fucking possessed," and she just believed that.
See, before I did a lot of research on this, I went in just ready to kind of like rip it apart and kind of make fun of it, honestly.
Yeah.
Because like I don't believe in like ghosts and things like that usually. I'm not going to say I don't believe in demonic possession or ghosts or anything like that. It's just one of those things where if I haven't witnessed it myself, I probably wouldn't believe.
Absolutely.
But there's a lot of shit going on in here that's so scary. And
oh, yeah.
I don't know what to believe, honestly. I mean, I think she definitely had a mental illness. But I think one of the scariest parts is where she is afraid because she doesn't want people to think she's crazy, and that just the fact that she's aware of it.
Yeah.
And like her whole family thinks it also.
Yeah.
And then those tapes are scary. They're super scary. And I just think 67 of that going on is so much for you so much for it to happen for like no reason.
Yeah, just to be like some kind of like scam or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I definitely think it's a mental health issue, but
I mean, I still don't believe in possession, but I can't explain the noises.
The one thing that would make me not believe possession at all would be the fact that like the 6 demons were all from popular Christian literature or like Germany.
One of them, being fucking Lucifer, who's the like fucking devil.
Hitler and stuff. Like it wasn't anyone from like anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
So that kind of is a little iffy.
I agree. What do you think, Spence?
All real, 100%.
Alrighty, hell yeah, I like that.
Spence is the Andrew
no,
this
I'm
week.
Just kidding. Yeah, it's a crazy case. You really can't explain the noises at all. Like you don't think if you had a job, like someone was going to pay you $1,000 to act, you could make that sound?
Well, that's why I asked if it was like proven to actually be real.
Well, the thing about that though is like this is
it goes on for a while.
I think the thing that's scary is that because she's dying, she's mentally and physically like deteriorating, and she's still screaming at the top of her lungs. And I think it's just scary. I don't know
if there was a way for somebody else to have been making the noises to kind of like, I don't know why they would do that, but if it wasn't her at all, then why the fuck do that? Especially with what did you say, like 40 something of them being recorded.
I think they should have at least added one in, or it was just them like making fart noises. Like it's obviously the priest. Like you hear him talk, like, okay, yeah, my turn.
I don't know which sound is scarier, actually, her making that noise or the sound of a frag mine getting tripped in Fallout.
You hear the little tink.
You're like, oh shit. But so yeah, no, I wish there was a way to know if the audio was actually real or or anything like that. I know they use it in court, but I wouldn't think there was a way to prove that it was actually her.
Well, I mean, her family was all there too.
Yeah, so
I don't know if her family and if the priest, her family, her boyfriend, boyfriend's sister.
Yeah, why would they all lie?
Yeah, so I don't know. I believe the tapes are real, but I mean, I believe it was mostly just a mental ill because she believed it was demonic presence.
Yeah, but I feel
herself.
I feel like she believed that because they said it, especially with panic attacks, schizophrenia, all that stuff. If you give them something to think that's what's happening, they're just gonna roll with it.
Sounds a lot like schizophrenia.
Yeah, they're just gonna roll with that in their heads.
And it's at least like we can be thankful that at least it was demon voices she was doing and not just singing out The Reason by Hoobastank.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely
imagine 47. Like, excuse me, we just got 47 copies of this girl singing Hoobastank's The Reason. I don't even have a joke. That's just it.
Oh man,
that's definitely scarier.
Sometimes the priest tries to join in. What are you, priest?
Fuck off.
Now I got to start over, you bitch. You bitch.
So yeah, I don't know.
All right, is there anything else you guys want to mention before Spence does our closing stuff?
No, I don't think so.
All right, all of our good brothers. It is time for me to do the closing. We had no honorary brothers this week besides Peter. Saint Peter, he should be called after this. Although I guess there already was one of those. But
that one doesn't matter.
This one should supersede. Thank you all for listening. Please support the podcast by leaving us a rating, like a 5-star rating would be really good. Leave us a review. Tell the world what you thought. And leave us some feedback. You can find us on social media at Twitter and Facebook, and you could even send us a good old-fashioned email at brotherscommonplace@gmail.com.
Absolutely.
And if you leave us a good review or rating, and if you're from another country, bring it to our attention other than the U.S., because I'm not sure if we can always see all the different ratings, but just let us know, and you'll become an honorary brother, and you'll get all the benefits that come with that. You'll get the timeshare, you'll get the gold watch, you'll get the 20-foot Elmo stuffed animal.
Yes, they will.
That's only just the tip of the iceberg of the rewards you'll get if you become an honorary brother by leaving us just a single iTunes review. I'm just rambling now.
Hell yeah. Well, yeah, like we mentioned, we no honorary brother this week. It pains all of us.
Oh yeah.
And
that's why Tooth's not here. He's in a mental health area himself, psychiatric area, because he's just so upset about it.
They're upset. They're very upset.
Yeah.
Him and Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew's in there with him. Yeah.
So, alrighty, thank you everyone, and if you haven't left us a 5-star review, that would mean a lot to us if you could do that. We've only gotten some negative ones recently, and
who the fuck sent those, you dicks?
And we could use your help. We got to bring that back up. And then if you're in a podcast, make sure you put the name of your podcast in your review or in your email, and we will give you a listen and subscribe, you a 5-star review right back.
Come on, man. I feel like I don't ask for much, and you guys would get so much in reward if you just give a 5-star review and request some of the stuff I'm saying here. But I'll up the ante again. Andrew's going to be back with us next week.
Yeah, he should be here next week.
So that should up our views there. But also, if you give us a 5-star review and request it, Kevin and Andrew, and just get ready because you're going to get boners from this.
Yeah, what are we going to do? Tell them.
Kevin and Andrew will reenact the funeral scene from My Girl.
Oh, my God, yeah.
So, just be ready for that. Have your pillows ready.
Wait, what day? Yeah, we always do that anyways on Thursday.
Well, yeah, no, we're just going to,
Oh, we're going to record it.
We're just going to record that.
Okay.
And I'll reenact the funeral scene from Heather's. I love my dead gay son. Oh, shit, I already did it.
Did he? He actually showed me that, so I do know what you're talking about. So yeah, definitely request that 5-star review. No 1 stars, you dicks.
Alrighty. Anyone want to do words of wisdom, or should we just end it?
Stay frosty, as I explained. Pac-Man Polar Bear used to always say.
Alrighty. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Be good. Stay safe.
Laugh at the dark stuff. Hashtag Wildman.
Hashtag Wildman. Hashtag Wildwoman. Hashtag T-Bro Nutsack. Hashtag Miss Cleo.
Hashtag Peter the boyfriend.
Hashtag Ultimate Warrior Sex.
Is Peter the boyfriend still alive?
I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
I hope he's banging everything. I hope he's a slut now.
Yeah, I feel like that guy's immortal.
He's got to be.
Yeah.
Hashtag immortal.
All right.
Hashtag Evanescence.
That's where we end it.
Hashtag demons at the door.
Are you interested in computers, tech savvy, or well-versed in gaming? Consider a career in the growing field of IT. At Bryant and Stratton College, our networking technology program features hands-on practice used by IT professionals, so you'll be prepared for the CompTIA A+, Network Plus, and Security Plus certification exams respected in the industry. Take your first step at bryantstratton.edu. Bryant and Stratton College, for every end in life. For important program information and disclosures, visit our website at bryantstratton.edu/disclosures.
This is firefighter Raphael Porriette for Firehouse Subs. Introducing new Firehouse Pairs. Pair your favorite small sub with a signature side, like the awesome 5-cheese mac and cheese. And remember, a portion of every purchase at Firehouse Subs goes towards helping first responders. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs, save more lives. Participating locations only, Firehouse Subs will donate a minimum of $1 million in 2019 to the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation by donating 0.11% of every purchase.